previous one was more about love and the disappearing of the one you love.
Yeah.
So, but always looking for in-betweenness.
Something I wanted to ask you about is that it's a very global world nowadays. It's a very global art world, and many of you young artists have studied in different places around the world. You have studied in France, of course, but also in Canada and in Finland. Could you say something about that? What is that like? I mean, moving between cultures and being an artist. What does it do? What did it do to you? How did you notice different things with yourself? And yes.
Me, I love snow, so I needed to go to snowy countries, which was not the case in art. And when I was in art, it was so hot, I really had to escape. That's why I tried to go to Finland.
Why do you like snow?
I know because yes, I know because it's the snow, and you have the metaphor from Descartes with the it's waiting to be printed. Waiting to be printed, and also when you are in a snowstorm, you have the feeling everything is blurry. You are going through like a dreamlike impression. So I feel really, really fine in these situations. But this is what I wanted to live, but it's not your question. What changes is in Finland I went to study photography, and when I went there, it's still in a way, but it was the place everyone was looking at. There was this Helsinki school,
yes.
books and exhibitions, and it seemed to be a place where there was a photography renewal with many fantastic photographers, and I thought maybe if I go there I will have that feeling that photography can be reinvented or viewed in different ways. And many of these photographers were working on the relationship between man and nature and environment in very intelligent ways. So I thought that maybe knowing them, meeting them, seeing how they would work would change things, and it definitely worked. Because when I went there, I did a series that for me was probably the most important, which is called Le Ulu, I think. And it was the beginning of many things after.
So now it seems like a thoroughly positive experience. Yes.
I would do it over and over if it was not so old now. Send your kids. But yes, it was really important. And then Canada, it was for philosophy, and never study philosophy in Canada because first we don't know very famous Canadian philosophers, and then they have a very different way to see human sciences than we do in France.
Wait, tell me, this seems like a crash, a culture crash, sort of.
Yes.
Tell me more about this.
It's weird because in Quebec they speak French.
Yes.
They have literally our culture, but the universities work more like in the USA. And so the way we study philosophy in France is really, really, I would say, high level, because we directly try to get into the text and to try to be as close as possible to the intention of the author. In Canada, we discuss our opinions about the text, and you actually the grades, they come from how good your opinion will look to the rest of the group. So you completely lose, in my opinion, the senses of the text, which is the most important.
Sounds like they're sophists or something.
Yes, I know that you cannot interpret it.
Okay, it's very interesting. So you feel more close to Finland than you would in...
I didn't study philosophy.
No, it's true.
I know so many Finnish philosophers, but no, more seriously, I would definitely go back to Finland rather than Canada.
Okay.
I won't record that because I haven't finished the studies. So.
Yes. So, how do you? So, if we talked about it, we spoke about that earlier, that you have, when I started to look at your work and what you had done, it seemed that you had a very clear point of view, this being in between and wanting to show this in images and so on. Has this always been? It's like, it feels like you had a mature eye as soon as you started out, because it's clear in your images what you wanted to do, what you wanted to say. Do you feel like that?
No, because yes and no. It's more like what I photograph or write. It's like it's been there before me. You know, I'm just catching.
Yes.
Even in the images, I think you can see maybe some strong references, like some that may be very obvious, like Tarkovsky, or I don't know, in images, or that you know they have been there before, and somehow it's like the eye, the way you see, is already conditioned by all that you have seen before.
Mm.
So whenever I have an idea, it's not like I know where it comes from. It's more, I know it has been there forever, and just
You're pulling it out.
yes,
Yes.
I feel more like this, like musician would say, oh, somehow I just heard that melody and I just played it, but I didn't invent it.
Okay.
And I like to see it like this, because you read books, you see films, you see, and suddenly you have an idea.
Mm.
So it doesn't really come from you, it comes from somewhere else.
It sounds like, I think about you when we like this common knowledge that we all have, that you can draw things out of. But in the future, about the future, if you come back to the Filter Festival in 10 years or so, say something, what do you think, what would you show, where would you be?
10 years.
Yeah.
I hope I will never know.
Is that sort of, we say 5 years then?
I read that the nasal thing that will disappear in 30 years. So maybe we don't have water here, maybe. But about me, I really don't know. I know that now I'm working for the past year, and also because of this film, I've been interested a lot about physics and mathematics, which is quite new. It was not so much the case before. I was just reading physics magazines for beginners, stuff like this. But now I became really interested into it, and I've been working with a quantum physicist for the past months. And I'm kind of trying to see how philosophy and quantum physics can discuss together, which is really a new kind of knowledge. There are not so many people who did it. And also how it can be, what space it would leave to art. So
will you make photographs or art out of it?
Right now I'm really trying to do this, like to find visual, plastic ways to have these ideas not just illustrated, like, oh, this series of pictures is about quantum physics or whatever, but just how the way of thinking that quantum physics, quantum mechanics introduces, which is a completely new way of seeing the world, can first change the way the philosophy has been conceived. Maybe new fields of philosophy can be opened through this, and how it can also affect art. So what I've been interested in the past years, and what I'm interested in now, is trying to use science as a real material, not just an inspiration or not just something I want to illustrate, but a real material. So I did a few installations already with scientists, and now I'm trying to push this forward. So it can imply photography and new technologies, such as I've used 3D machines to make pictures. I've used electronic chips implanted.
So you've done this already?
Yeah. And injected hormones, synthesis hormones that you inject yourself and that can change yourself and things like this. But I think we can go even forward.
This is like human enhancement.
Yes, it's not only about transhumanism or posthumanism, it's just how we can seize the division between philosophy, art, science, because we often speak about art science, collaboration between artists and scientists, but there is still a cut.
Yes.
And I think there is a new field that should exist.
Okay. This sounds very, very interesting and very. We'll have to invite you to the next photo festival, and you'll have to show some of this work to us. We decided now, and here and now. And you feel it, when I listen to you, it feels like you're curious about this. They don't because many people are very afraid of. I mean, at least the human enhancement bit. Yes, but you are curious about.
Yeah,
yes.
Completely.
Yes.
Not just to see the body as a cyborg or as just a material you can enhance like a computer or whatever, but just it's like again I say it because I'm traumatized since I read that the NASA really thinks that our species is disappearing and in 30, 40 years there won't be any more human, which is possible. They explain this with statistics.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like we have maybe the possibility to just the time to build a new species or something that will be. Sorry.
So in this time we have time to. Our only hope of survival is like creating a new species that is better than.
I think so.
Yes.
That's what I hope, so we can survive.
Yeah, so we can survive. This is very exciting. Okay.
Maybe we don't deserve to survive, but if there is a chance, maybe, I don't know.
Yes.
Such as all the technological improvements that make everything become. It looks like all the abstract concepts now can become things that you can buy and that you can, such as I don't know, emotions. We know that, but emotions you can synthesize them into pills. You're sad, you take a pill. You can sleep, you take a pill. You're too happy, you take a pill. So all the emotions, they can be. You can just buy things. So it's the same thing now for memory. Soon there will be ways to keep even the fact that we all have a phone and keeping all these memories. You have this bracelet that records all that is saved. It exists, you can buy it. You just record everything all the time, it exists. And it looks like everything will be able soon, like in the coming years, to be kept forever, sold, recorded. So what is the point of being like normal, simple humans? As we do, there is no point.
No.
We have to improve. We have to become a new species in some ways.
But we can improve also in other ways, not only becoming a new species. But I still think that you like this species also. You like the human body, and you like. That's what I feel in your work, not only the traum that we saw, but also the work you show at the Konsthallen. That you like this. You like humans.
I don't know if I like them so much. I'm fascinated.
Aha, okay. This, you know that Victor Hugo said something like that. I don't want to be with people. I just want to analyze them.
So, there are some people I like, but no, mostly it's also a fascination for the what passes and how you can keep something of what is evolving.
Yes.
Many people have asked me, why don't you ever photograph older people? I don't know, I'm scared. It scares me so much. I cannot do that. Or dead people.
Yes.
And for the moment, I've only focused on what I know because I have experimented it, so I can talk about it and I can see it in others. But what fascinates me is more.
Do you have like a utilitarian approach? Do you want things to be better, and do you want to like improve?
the human race, or
yes, improve everything.
Yes, please. Yeah, I hope so. It's like also every man can be perfected. I really think that.
Yes, but you know, we haven't exactly. What you say, we take a pill because we're sad and so on, but it doesn't succeed always. I mean, this pill thing isn't. It doesn't cure everything. But you think perhaps.
No, spirituality can help, probably. But for me, what helps the most now is the science. Like, to come back to this, when you know how quantum physics works, you cannot think, for me, in my opinion, that you cannot think of the human being the same way you have always seen it. Now you know that in a scientific way you can prove that, I don't know, particles don't act like groups of particles. So if you go to the smallest elements of matter, they behave like the biggest science fiction movie could expect. Like, I don't know, a photon can be in different spaces at the same time. It can be in different states. So then we cannot see, we human, knowing that probably is the same case for us. We just wait to prove this.
This is so, and you are going to continue to work with this, with your scientific perspective, and also being an artist in the future for these 30 years that we have left before we come into super species. Yeah. I hope to meet you within, I mean, we should make a date in 30 years or so, if I'm still alive, I hope.
Me too.
Yes, well, it's probable that you are, but I hope that I'll be. We'll have to, I could sit here and ask you millions of questions about this, but I think the time is running late, and
everyone wants to sleep now.
And there is a day tomorrow also. But I still want to ask if anyone has some questions for Dorothee, and I think we will. I'll go with you.
Did you apply for the artist residency at CERN?
I didn't apply yet because
I think it could be really something for you.
I didn't apply. really good thing. No. It's a good suggestion. It's been 2 years I've wanted, but the problem is that for the moment the two main topics we're working on, which is finding the Higgs boson and finding if they can understand the creation of the world by creating black holes and stuff. For the moment, they have not been the topics I've been interested in, but I'm constantly thinking of finding a way to want to go there. But yes, for the moment, it's more. It's really more about physics, not astrophysics, or really. It takes time to